the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Woo! Crazy episode again. We are halfway through the season.
It is, isn't it?
I can't believe it already.
We have 10 episodes.
I know,
right, yeah.
Which is good because I mean, again, it's never enough. But
Right.
at this time last season, we were one episode away from the
Yeah.
finale. So we've got a lot more to come. But a lot to talk about tonight. Got the full panel back. Mikey Christmas, start us
Yeah,
off. Where
buddy.
can the people find you?
Oh, I wish I could say you could find me at Mikey Christmas,
I know.
but
Is it taken?
I just
Is it
looked it up.
taken?
Some guy with like 12 followers is. I was like, Mikey, it's terrible.
it's the
And his
worst.
picture's terrible. It's not even like a Christmas
Yeah,
theme.
doing it zero justice.
Yeah, terrible. I might have to steal it somehow
Yeah,
from
do
him.
it.
Mikey
Do it.
underscore
Just
Christmas.
hack him or something.
But you can find me at Mike Kalinowski on Twitter and.
For the dub.
Yeah, for the real
see
thing.
what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Might throw out that kind of alter ego out there.
Yeah.
Mikey
Nice,
Christmas.
you should.
What? Sorry.
I'm sorry?
I'll probably introduce myself.
Yes,
I'm
sure.
Alexis Torres. You guys can find me not at Mikey Christmas, but at atorres890.
Awesome. And you guys can find me, JB, at Hey John Blake. Little shout out to Tupac as
Hey.
well as Ryder, who is
Oh my God,
gone but not.
I'm never gonna get rid of him.
It's,
He's just gonna be
yeah,
there.
There's been a lot
Haunting
of
my dreams.
resurrections via like holograms. A lot of holograms of Ryder this episode.
I can't.
Coachella shout out too. It's all full circle, really.
Full freaking circle.
But yeah, so we cut to Jade, who's kind of like in mourning / taking the reins right away. How do we feel about this
Well,
whole like she's the Baroness?
I think it's kind of just natural progression.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't really anyone else too, so
Right.
Yeah.
interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see. I don't know if that was clearly that wasn't her plan all along, but
Yeah.
deep down because I'm a garbage human being, I was like, she totally did this on
Yeah,
purpose.
she
This is what
knew.
she wanted.
She was
wanted
putting
her
it
to
in
die.
there.
She is
So
manipulative.
yeah,
She saw
like,
a lot of that in the first season. She
I
was
guess,
very
so I
much
was
like
just
that.
but she was clearly broken up. So I was
Right.
like, all right, I will give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. But I like it. I need more female baronesses. I need
Right.
it.
Yeah, okay.
There's actually quite a few because we had the Chow.
Yeah, and then we have Widow, and now we have,
so there's
Jade.
3.
All
So,
one-name
yeah, I mean-
basis, by the way.
No, we have
Yeah.
not
Like
seen. I'm
Madonna.
trying to remember. We haven't seen. Who was the blonde from first season?
I thought she died.
Oh,
didn't
she was
Did she die?
she was a regent.
for Jacoby,
Yeah.
right? Or
And we
Jacoby,
haven't seen her, right? She's not been back.
I don't. Yeah,
I don't remember-
I don't
I
know
don't
if she made it.
I
don't
haven't
think-
seen her since
I
then.
don't-
But
I think she's
she's
dead.
alive though.
Someone should put that in
Maybe,
there.
yeah.
They didn't
Peeps,
kill her last season. She was.
yeah, fans in the chat.
Somebody let us know because I don't
I
remember.
really liked her.
It's been
Yeah,
2 years, guys.
Yeah, it has
Yeah,
been.
and
We've
I
had
really
a bit of a
liked her.
hiatus.
You know, I watched season 1 again before we started this.
Right.
I don't remember them. No, I don't think
Yeah.
she died.
Well,
I don't know.
Hopefully she'll come back.
hopefully.
Maybe
That would
she's
be
working on
nice.
another TV show or
Surprise
something right now.
cameo.
Maybe.
That would be nice.
I did
love
like
that.
her.
It would be. It'd be very cool. I mean, she definitely had a past with
Yeah.
Sunny.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that
Great
would
pat. Yeah, great whole
Really
thing.
get things moving.
Yeah.
Especially with whole everything that Vale did this episode,
Yes.
which we'll talk about soon. But back to Jade for a minute. I don't know if I feel like she should be Baroness. I feel like it makes sense.
Right.
Given the whole scenario, but when it happened, I was like, Jade, successor of Ryder? No!
Like Darth Vader, no.
Just why? Because I feel like that is just gonna be a disaster. Gonna be great to watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, no good can come of that.
No, I wouldn't
I don't
think
think so.
No.
That's why I'm saying I'm glad that she's there,
Right.
but I feel like I don't really know what her end game is.
Totally.
You know?
Interesting, there's sort of another blood oath. There's a lot of blood oaths.
A lot of blood
in-
this
in
season.
the-
Wow.
in the
I mean,
Badlands.
I mean, just aside from the killing
Yeah,
blood, there's
yeah.
just random blood
Outside
everywhere.
of the
Did anybody
fighting,
else,
there's a lot of blood
Did anybody else get
rituals.
like really grossed out? I'm sorry, Mikey Christmas, but she's
No.
just like, I'm just gonna rub your hand a little bit, even though
Yeah.
you're dead. But my blood's
Like,
just all over it.
I still
though. And
have
was
the
like,
image of.
What is happening?
Little creepy.
I still have the image of Quinn at the baptism,
Right?
drinking that blood.
Right,
and that,
exactly.
That
Just
crappy
like-
beard of his.
Ah.
Like, and then it's like, ah.
I'm
It
never gonna get
doesn't
over
clean out very easily.
Nah,
If
it's
you guys got 'em
disgusting.
cut, it's like it gets all
So-
that. Just
clotted
like
and
gross. Just,
Yeah.
it's
no
just,
good. No
it's
good.
just
Not a good
gross.
look.
Nah.
Stop it. Can we just do shake hands? Sign
Yeah,
a contract?
seriously, yeah,
I don't
just let
understand
me
why
just-
it's just like.
You
'cause,
can
like,
you can prick my finger and then I'll do that.
no, because
We'll
like
do
there's
that.
another show that I do on the CW called The 100, and they do the same thing where they have to.
Lots of the
there's
bloods and stuff?
No, like what they do is they cut each other's hands and then shake hands, and I was like,
Right.
Why? We could just shake hands. I don't understand why there's...
Very unsanitary.
But that, yeah,
you don't
it's
know
like
if they got like
that's
Zika
open
or
cuts.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In an apocalyptic, like post-apocalyptic world too, there's like radiation in the
Right.
air. I'm like, this
That's true.
seems-
Yeah, very
Unhealthy.
few doctors. I mean, like
Clearly.
Vale is
That's
one of
pretty
the
much we've
remaining
seen,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, no man.
The Quinn had like one and he killed them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivan in the chat was like, into the Bloodlands, LOL.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I
nice.
was like, gross. That's gross. Also, yes, everybody, Zephyr was her name, and she did die. with
Zephyr.
Did she?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently
Okay.
everybody said that she died with
Zephyr.
Jack.
Great character though. Very
I loved
memorable.
her name. Yeah, I think
I
you're gonna
guess-
have to rewatch that.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
no, pretty-
Maybe I wasn't paying
pretty
attention.
cool
That
But yeah,
sucked.
Ivan said
She
Sonny
obviously
killed
made
her.
an impact.
Sonny
Yeah.
killed her?
Apparently.
Ooh,
We gotta relook that. Gotta look that up. Gotta look it up.
Cold-blooded. We're
Gotta
gonna have
look it
to
up.
I'm gonna look that up
rewatch
right
season
now.
But yeah,
right
I don't
now.
know.
one. Just
Jade is.
it sounds like fake news to me.
Yeah, fake news. Fake.
Altered facts. But no, I agree with you that I'm not sure how Jade's gonna do. I also don't think that it's that. I mean, I really want my females to do better in this show. I mean, Widow is amazing and I love her, but we haven't really gotten much besides the fact that
Right.
she got betrayed and now she wants revenge kind of thing. And then Tilda, we had her badass moment in the beginning, then we just kind of like let her off in the dust.
Yeah,
Tilda's
she's really
kind
kind
of-
of fallen to the
Very much
background.
so. Yeah.
And I'm like, now that I'm like, okay, Jade is up here, see how she does. I mean, that awesome fight between Chow and Widow was fantastic, but I just feel like my women are just like, we're just gonna push you off to the side for a second, and then
Right.
we're gonna concentrate on these guys. And I'm like,
Totally.
give me a good storyline.
I wonder if because season 1 was so condensed, they had to load everyone really
True.
well.
No.
Where this is like last episode was kind of Sunnyless. Was the last episode,
Which
you
I
know,
was okay with.
and it was cool because there's so
Yeah.
many other characters that we've now fallen in love with. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna get that bigger widow-centric stuff coming up.
I'm hoping. I mean, like I said, I keep forgetting we only have
Right.
5 episodes left, but I am excited to see because I feel like the
Yeah.
pacing of the show, we get to see pretty much everybody except for last week, which was just like, we just cut out Sunny because
Yeah.
this is pretty huge.
Yeah.
So.
No, it kind of again reminds me of Game of Thrones. How there's so
Yeah,
many characters
yeah,
going
yeah.
on. They kind of have to like focus episodes like more on certain characters than
Yeah.
others. That being said, there are storylines I prefer and I just
Yes.
find more interesting naturally. You know, the Widow is one that I think really this season has kind of come to the forefront for me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I mean, Sonny's always badass. So it's cool, like
Yeah.
watching him do what he does and murder people.
bad people.
But yeah, I mean, he's kind of been taking like sort of a different note to kind of diversify his thing. It's still interesting, but like because he's kind of doing his own like trek back. It's weird to
Yeah.
see.
I was gonna ask you guys because I felt like there was a lack of action till the very end.
Right.
Did that bother you? Because you know, usually with Into the Badlands we have like story and then
Yeah.
like fight scene.
I
We
mean,
had a little bit of story and then a
totally.
tiny fight scene.
Right.
Like, this is the
Honestly, a
first-
little bit. I mean, sorry to
No,
cut,
no, it's
to cut
okay.
you off. I was, and I'm glad you brought that up because even though the fight scene at the end was very satisfying in
so
a lot
good.
of ways, I did kind of feel like the pacing wasn't as fluid through this episode as it has in previous ones.
Yeah.
Because usually we get like something right off the bat, like
Yeah.
people just get killed in an awesome way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to say that has to happen every episode, but I feel
Right.
like in the beginning it was lacking a little, like some excitement. There was more build up. We were kind of meeting these new people in the junkyard, and that was like it was more informational and
Yeah.
Yeah, an exposition.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel maybe, and because this show, it was the martial arts that I know for me that go, oh,
Brought
what
you
is
in,
this?
yeah.
I got to see this. And now they've invested so much into so much goodwill. Now they can, I give them a little more free reign to not have as much martial arts
Sure.
in it
Right.
because I know how good it is
Right.
when it's there. And they got me into it. Now the story, more story, I'm like okay with, you know.
Yeah.
But you do
Yeah.
feel like, okay, where's the scene? Because you know. It's not like some shows where it's like, oh, we're gonna get a random fight scene. You know, when we see it, it's gonna be
Right.
awesome. So what are they gonna do this time? So it's the anticipation that they build for that scene, and
Yeah.
we always do get a payoff. It's just
And that's why I asked, because now I've got my coworkers into it now, so they were like, well,
Nice.
they finished season 1 and now
Yeah.
they're watching season 2
Excellent.
along with us, which is great. But they were just
You
like,
got
hey
your
man.
cogs.
No,
at work.
it's really funny. I quite love it. Especially because they like as soon as I come in, they're like, oh, "Did you watch last night's episode?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Just
but
please.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, relax,
Please.
guys. We got this. Okay, but like, But it was their biggest complaint was the fact that they're like, yeah, I was like kind of waiting for it, and then I didn't get it until the very end, which was still great. And I was like, I hope that's not what people are gonna start thinking, that they need to have a scene every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I liked our story, but I do agree that it was kind of lackluster, just a little bit. But it was good because I wanted to see if they were gonna ask for Ryder's mom to come back, which she did, which was great. We
Definitely
had
got that.
Yeah, that moment, and then I don't know what's gonna happen after that, and then obviously at the very end when she tried to infiltrate Quinn's hideout, whatever the hell you want to call it, I was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Just in general. So like they can still rile me in with the story without putting in all this crazy crap, which is good. I just wanted to know if everyone was on the same boat, if they were like, this episode sucked.
No.
I definitely do not think it sucked. But I mean, I guess I think I've been spoiled because like all the other episodes have had like
something.
Such like throughout, like it starts off with such a big bang, and then kind of like ebbs and flows like from that high.
Right.
And so I was like, I was kind of like
that.
expecting that just because they set it up that way for so many episodes, which was a great formula. But I mean, now I guess it was kind of, I think if you watched all the episodes, we'll see sort of at the reassess maybe at the end of the season. Like it might be
that's
a good
true.
kind of
That's a good
break.
time to do it. Yeah.
Because it is the halfway point.
No, it makes sense for the mid season kind of episode to be more of like, this is an information dump, and we'll just continue on into the action later.
Exactly, because I kind of did like, I enjoyed coming back to Sunny, seeing this other world like outside of the Badlands. Like that is interesting to me, and I kind of hope that they do continue to build that up. Like I don't know what the guy was who's kind of like the leader of this junkyard. But he was pretty cool. I mean, like he had a like crazy.
I mean,
like,
he needed to
beard
go though, because I was like.
Nos.
Yeah, he was
NOS.
Yeah, he was a
hell no.
POS.
He was complete. Like he was a complete S piece. Like that's what it was. Just completely.
He's obviously running some slaves and
the dolls. You mean?
Yes, the dolls. And not really one for second chances.
Gross. No, I was hoping that he wasn't going to survive, but he did.
Right.
But I'm hoping that payback.
He'll get his comeuppance, as they say.
He'll get his.
That's not good. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how cool was it when Sunny was using Silver Moon's like sword? Like,
dude,
that
it was
like,
so awesome.
I like how that's like a a
it's
fable,
always there now,
like that's like told like throughout the lands, like people like know of it. It's like a
that's
legendary
why.
thing.
He almost
That's
had
why.
1,000 kills. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's why when we talked 2 episodes ago, and I was
Right.
like, "What was the significance?" Because he's like, "You taking my sword?" He's like, "Yeah, we're taking it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What is that like? What is it now? It's a symbol of this is this man's, and we
Right.
killed him." So
Exactly. Yeah,
For
I
me,
like
the payoff was really cool on that.
Yeah, totally. And it's like there's a lot behind it. It's like obsidian steel and like the rings. Like it was like one of a kind. I mean,
Right.
it looks super very unique.
Yeah.
And just badass. So it was cool
his sword
to
is
see.
beautiful.
Yes,
Sunny
indeed.
just wielding it and cutting people.
Can I say something about that sword?
Of
Yeah,
course
go
you
for
can.
it.
Jump right in.
You know how he it's like symbolically, like Sunny is taking up the sword of Silver Moon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I think this is gonna be the sword that he's gonna use until like the very end.
Yeah, I hope so. I
Ooh.
mean, that would be awesome.
I also feel like it's like how he can't escape his destiny. He's kind of like Spider-Man in a sense, because he has the power to kill all these like people and stuff. So since he has the power to stop these villains, he's able to he has this responsibility to do it. That's why he had that conflicting manner when he's like thinking about whether to leave or to save the little girl and her mother.
Yeah.
And that's when he acts on it, and that's when Nick Frost's character hands him the sword, and he's taking up the legacy, I guess, of Silver Moon. Hopefully for the light of good, you know.
Well, yeah.
Ooh,
But
touche, dude.
Yeah.
Killer theory.
Well
I love that.
I also
played.
love that he used I love how you
Just
also use the word
swoop right in.
responsibility
Yeah.
too. I was like,
No, with great power comes great responsibility.
Responsibility. I was
Great, Spider-Man
thank you for that.
plug.
Hey,
Peter Parker.
It was nice, with Bajie too. He's just not all the bad that we like. He's not.
Right.
You do see his conflict now as well, where he's not just so self-serving and
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh, okay.
And we talked about it though. He clearly sees an opportunity. He's an opportunistic kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I think also he realizes like, oh, this guy's kind of creepy, and we should save this little girl.
Right.
To a point, even though he was like raring to go.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to. He could have just taken the car and left.
Right.
So I'm really glad that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I like how his character is really shaping up because he seems, like everyman. Like obviously he's an opportunist
Of course.
opportunist, and
Yeah.
you know when things kind of fall in his lap, he will go that route. But I don't think he's innately bad, and each decision kind of shows that like when he is sort of faced with like a situation where he's not,
Oh boy.
you know, like he's not putting himself at more harm than like already is in. He will take like the high road and go for, you know, a positive solution or like try to help someone. You know, like totally go. You're raring to go.
I was just thinking because I'm like, oh man, you know how like in movies and TV shows we always get that character who was kind of like on the fence about being bad and being good, and then how. They're with the hero character and it's like they're kind of butting heads and then eventually they start to like each other and things start to go well and then all of a sudden at the very end, he dies and then it just like all goes to crap. Can you imagine? And then what Sunny does?
I would not.
Oh man, killer prediction. If that might like, it sounds so likely.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's kind of what they're. I mean, I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I don't know anything, so it's not spoilers or anything like that. I'm just. When you said that of how he's like, oh, he's kind of like, you know, changing,
turning a new leaf.
I was like,
saying that is it's a good point because I always forget because so many shows are built now to binge watch.
Correct.
Like we're spoiled now because I'm like, man, we got 5 more weeks we gotta go to if something like this happens. We can't just, you know, all right, I'm gonna get through another episode and I gotta get through another. It's like wow, it's the landscape of TV. I know it's been changing over the past couple of years, but now it's affecting me. Like, on shows that I watch.
Ruining my life.
Yeah, for shows that I watch now. Before the shows, I was like, it doesn't matter. I didn't care, whatever. But now, like the shows that I'm into, I'm like, I'm so used to the ones that I like on Netflix and stuff. And now I'm like, this is like the one network show that I watch that I'm like, come on, this is not.
That's not fair.
That doesn't. That like Arrow, Flash, I'm cool week to week. I'm cool. I don't need to go 5 episodes. But this one, I'm like, come on, come on. And it's only 10. Come on.
Just give me all of it.
Well, it's interesting how, you know, like it's sort of in the network to kind of derail for a second to talk about this. It's interesting to see how TV is evolving and how like different networks are taking different paths because I think shows can handle it differently. Like some shows can handle like, you know, people kind of watch a little bit more casually and certain shows like if you do not like, I feel like Game of Thrones is a big one where if you're not really up to date, like you can't like going like on the internet is like a risk. Like
I think this show being that you can't jump into episode 3 and just like I mentioned Arrow or Flash, you could watch. You're a little behind, but you could pop in for an episode and it's usually a standalone. With this show is built for binge watching. It's like. I know a lot of people are now catching up with season 1. All my friends online, a lot of Facebook friends are like, oh my God, why didn't anyone talk about Into the Badlands?
Every time.
Like, I tried a year and a half ago, folks. I tried to tell you guys.
Seriously, 2015. Like, come on, guys.
So if AMC ever decides they don't want the show, Netflix, you need to take it.
No, for
I'm just saying, you know, you guys go Netflix with it. It'd be a gold mine.
Totally. And you know, I think things might change. There are networks that are, you know, on traditional networks like Freeform and stuff that release both. Like they kind of do
a week-to-week
rollout, but also put it online.
I think
so. It'll be interesting to. Kind of
I don't think AMC's letting this thing go anytime soon.
No,
I think they're very happy with it.
But I do agree that a lot of people in the chat are like, oh, they wouldn't kill Nick Frost off. I'm like, I'm not saying that they would. I just think it would be interesting for plot-wise because Sonny finally has created a connection with another human being that's not MK or Vale. That it would be interesting for him to finally like this person who wasn't likable and then just all of a sudden dying off. You know what I mean?
No, totally. I hope that doesn't happen.
I don't want it because I love Nick Frost and I want to see him in more TV shows.
Aside from Sonny, I don't think anyone's safe on this show.
Correct. Yeah. Like, I think that, I mean, as much as I love Vale and I want to see her more, that could happen too.
Yes, it can. That's
like, he comes back and it's like one of those moments of like, I'm going to save you, and then just stab in the gut. Like, you know?
I mean, honestly, I feel like that is more likely than...
Yeah, than Nick Frost going.
Well, then anything to happen. Because, I mean, we know that she's big, like, Sonny's big weakness.
Yep.
Yeah.
So... I mean, I think if they kept the child, like he would still have.
I don't think they would do that.
We're getting that. We're gonna get that. Sonny, Vale, the Baron, or Quinn thing. It's gonna be terrible.
It's gonna, especially after today's episode or Sunday's episode.
That's gonna be just awful.
Especially because he's gonna see it.
Now, okay,
he's gonna see it.
not to do predictions or anything, but knowing what we know, one of those three, and it's not gonna be Sonny, has to die. Come end of this season.
Right.
You think we're gonna kill Quinn again?
Just Quinn again.
So I mean,
he keeps resurrecting.
One of them's going. One of them, unless they all have to
The
team up
bad-
against
yeah.
some bigger reveal of some
The
bigger
miners.
Totally,
something, unless they've got to all join together, which would even
I
be
mean-
worse.
Yeah, I don't know if the Badlands is big enough for
That's
all
what I'm
of
saying.
them.
I don't.
I mean, that would be interesting though that you bring that up. I know we're like really deep into predictions right now, but I think it'd be interesting if we had the Badlands against the outer. I call it the outer rim.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Which is like
it is kind of
we
like
get the miners, we get the guys from that Mad Max Junkyard thing that we had going on there. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see another village and just like it'll be like a crazy.
and then
all-out
what's his
war.
name? Who was the guy that shipped Sonny at the beginning of end of season
gosh,
one?
I know who
His
you're
name,
talking-
River King. The River
Yeah,
King. His
yeah.
all people and that. There's
Like,
just
it
so
would just-
many
maybe they're
factions outside of the Barons.
Yeah, because the fact that they would be like, we're done with all your crap with these barons and how you
Yeah,
guys are always
it's-
trying to rule us and this and this and this. Like, we're done. We're taking over the Badlands. Period.
I blame the show. That's their fault for opening the world like they did. They didn't just keep it in the Badlands, for giving us this plethora of world
It
building.
is, it
It's
is.
pretty
So
great,
now it's
though.
all on you to make it satisfying.
I also want an Into the Badlands encyclopedia.
Yeah,
Just like
I mean,
everything.
we
I-
need something like
yeah.
that, like all
Yeah.
these movies, like
We
TV
do,
shows.
we do.
They have
We
like
need,
the
like, a map.
ultimate guides,
We
like
need-
guides and maps.
But yeah, because
and,
I think that's the one thing that we never saw is we don't know what the maps, like what the world looks like. We don't
Right.
know how far we know that there's a wall.
Yeah.
Yay. We know that there's stuff outside the Badlands. Yay. So where
Right,
does
right,
everything
right,
else
yeah.
go?
Right.
How does
No,
it
it's.
work?
I mean,
How does it
yeah, I desperately want that, but at the same time, I think they're doing that on purpose because they like.
That's true,
They
yeah.
want to keep us like on,
Yeah.
like with Sunny knowing nothing.
But I mean, thinking about it, gosh, they have built themselves a mythology that can seem Games of Thrones-ish. What we're
Yeah.
talking about, like. I think we get to a point like I want a map of this area,
Right.
like
Right?
just a cool on every faction and the history of the factions. I think they really need
Well, I
to
love
look
it.
into one of these ones that do they do the Ultimate Star Wars guides and all that
Yeah.
stuff, DK
That's
books,
what I
whatever they
want.
are.
Is that what that is up there?
I found
think
something on here. Yeah.
No way.
That's just the Barons. That's
What?
the
Oh, okay.
Badlands
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
Because there's like the
I mean, I'll take that
armadillo.
because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
yeah, 'cause
interesting. So it's
technically-
like out. It's like in the center.
No, because it's
Whoa.
interesting because technically we saw a map in this episode and we've been kind of seeing it in the background because Widow has a map, but you can't see what's on
Right.
there. You
Yeah.
only
But
see
it's
her
focus
pins.
on
I
the
think
map,
that
yeah.
season
It's just
one
the
we
ba-
did one. I think it might be from season one, but it was just
The
the
Badlands.
Badlands.
Yeah.
I'm now it's opened up to
Right.
everything, so we're
Yeah.
just kind of like, wow.
No, because I know you mentioned in the beginning of I don't know which episode it was, but you're like I want like a Game of Thrones intro of like
Yeah.
everywhere,
It's like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
just fly over like the Badlands and fly over.
But I guess it's
Yeah.
kind of there, like you said, they're doing it on purpose because Sonny's journey is to get back into what he's going through.
Right.
If we knew what he's going through, we're like, oh, this is that part. So now
Exactly.
we're
Yeah.
learning with him. But
Yeah.
come season 2, I think it'd be nice if we had something like this.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Well, yeah, and also I think unlike Game of Thrones, where there was sort of a set like story.
Yeah, yeah,
there were
yeah.
books, like there's like kind of
Right,
a
yeah, yeah,
beginning
yep.
and end with like the characters. Because they're kind of creating this show, it gives them a little bit more freedom to like come up with new characters.
yeah.
Right.
To kind of like keep the story going.
before-
Obviously, we hope that AMC picks this up for like many more
Yeah.
seasons because
Yes,
it's not a
please.
show.
Because I need it. I
Yeah.
need it in my life. Mr. Goku Jr. 2012 in the chat's like, if Quinn dies, he will only rise again with a thicker, more forced accent.
True.
I like his
With
accent.
a
I think it's getting
bigger
really
tumor.
good.
I think his head is gonna get like bigger and
It's just
bigger.
gonna take up the entire
It just
ring.
needs to
Yeah.
just get like a giant thing coming out of the back
Yeah.
of his head.
What is happening? He's becoming a pinhead? Is that what's going on? Like, or conehead, I mean?
Totally.
That'd be insane.
But yeah, speaking of sort of the alliances, we kind of touched on this whole like Widow. She kind of takes a nod to Tilda. She's like, "You actually did the right thing. I'm not mad." Waldo, kind of pissed at you. Guess what? I'm gonna do the opposite of your advice and actually side with Quinn, which is pretty crazy. How do you guys? I mean, it's an interesting, unlikely alliance.
Right.
But kind of cool to see like two sort of larger
Yeah.
alliances in the Badlands fight. I mean, like
But I can see this happening because the fact that Widow is kind of also in for herself because
Right.
she's like, okay,
Of course, yeah.
Quinn is clearly here to get rid of every other Baron. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if she entices him to team up together, then she will have the upper hand of killing him later.
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, it's such a weird like my enemy of my enemy.
Right.
is
Yeah.
my
Yeah. Of
friend.
Yep.
course.
And
Uh,
then it works more in her favor than anybody else.
Right. I mean, she's very much in the crosshairs of everybody, so she doesn't really have anybody to turn to.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I know
I think that was
Waldo's
kind of
your
her-
favorite too, so I'm like, I don't know how
He
you feel
is.
about him being
He
in the
is.
doghouse this
He's-
episode.
Yeah, he's not like it. He's not a fan. He's pretty upset. I mean, I think he knows that he
Kind of messed up.
I
messed up a little bit.
Yeah, no,
I'm just gonna sit over here.
I wouldn't go that far because I think like it wasn't like a secret that it could go bad. He was like,
Correct.
this is like we are walking into the lion's den.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, things could go south.
No, correct.
Quick. And I think he put himself on the line. That being said, I feel like he's kind of he's a man of his word.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
kind of owning up to what happened and will find a way to find the Baron. Obviously, we got a
What does he
preview.
call Tilda? What's his nickname for her?
Oh God, I
What does he
can't
call?
remember.
He's like, hey, sunflower, not sunflower, sunshine.
I don't remember.
What is his name? He calls her.
They'll probably put it in the chat.
Yeah,
They'll
guys,
come
what
up.
is all they'll call Tilda? Oh,
Yeah.
so condescending too.
I know every time, and I'm like, and I love it because the way that Tilda like kind of smirked at him too,
Yeah.
when she's like,
Buttercup,
I, like,
Buttercup.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, we were talking about this last episode about how Tilda was kind of like being, like seeds were being planted in her mind by this like random other
butterfly,
girl, random butterfly girl.
Yeah.
But they kind of touched on that a little bit when the widow was like congratulating her. She's like, yeah, a good regent like actually knows like when to
kind of make their moves and
Right,
Tinkerbell?
Are there Tinkerbell?
Her,
Is it
her
Tinkerbell? Is it
I don't
Tinker-
know.
Maybe.
It doesn't sound familiar to me,
No,
but
it
maybe.
doesn't like Tinkerbell.
But yeah, so I'm curious to see sort of now that she's empowered to think that way. I'm sure it's gonna backfire and she's gonna go like too far. Like maybe you leave a post
you ever think-
or
It is Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell?
Everybody's saying Tinkerbell.
All right, Tinkerbell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are Tinkerbell.
Yeah, it's there somewhere. I just miss it.
Do you see her take kind of a Ryder Quinn with her and the widow eventually?
yeah, I eventually I don't think it's gonna play out like as if like Tilda wants control. I think she's gonna be like, okay, she's clearly lost her mind. I'm going to like
Oh, okay.
fix the situation, not tell her
Okay.
about it, and then it's gonna come to a head.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be more of like a betrayal, but not like because
But
she
it
wanted
works out for the
power.
best.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is my prediction on that, because I think now that she's like, okay, yeah, I am way better like at
Yeah.
strategy. That's gonna go south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, MK is on the run.
Oh my God, I love it. Like
That's all we need to talk
That's
about.
all. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all we got.
And next.
I think like we haven't really like
No.
like the
You're
whole
correct.
the whole season 1 was about the power and the blood, and it seemed like this was, I want to say, their version of the Force, kind of, where it was like to bring balance to the Badlands, and this is that, but it just seems like this is I don't know if they decided, you know what, this really didn't work for season 1. It wasn't really what was everyone tuned in for,
Right.
so let's kind of, but now they can't, they have to address it. It's what it was, and
Right.
No, I
now
think
it's in
it's
the
kinda
world,
like-
and it's kind of, I don't know what to think of it. I don't mind the character. He was a little kind of like petulant season 1, but
Yeah.
but I love season 1 kind of had a Batman Robin vibe for me,
Right, right,
but
right, right.
like a Batman Jason Todd, like the
Correct.
kind of the
Yes.
arrogant little,
I think
like-
that was a specific Robin.
yeah,
that you
yeah,
picked out.
yeah.
Well, no, it's
Totally.
right on the nose.
But it fits
Yeah.
it, and I like that. And now they're not together, and I know why they did that. But it took what was special about him on the show away from me,
Right.
I mean,
because like he was forced to be this father figure to him, but he didn't want to be. And
Right. Well, yeah, Jason Todd, is he the Nightwing one?
no, that's
Okay,
Dick Grayson. Jason Todd is the
yeah.
one that like was just not at his core. He wasn't
right,
really
right, yeah.
right.
No,
He's
totally.
kind of mentally
Yeah.
not there, and he was the
Yeah.
one that died and came
Hood.
back.
Yeah,
and,
becomes the Red Hood.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were the
Right.
the least close of all the Robins
Right,
were the
right,
two
right.
of them,
He
but
was the troublemaker.
and yeah, Bruce Wayne tried to make
Yeah.
amends for what happened with Dick Grayson, who was Nightwing eventually,
Right.
and it is. But it was such a good dynamic, so now we don't get that this season, which, it's storytelling has to go that way, but I'm just kind of like, his whole, anytime
Yeah.
his story is on, that's when I'm get up to get a drink or something.
Make pizza rolls is what I usually call
It's
it.
just not.
Pizza rolls like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
it's not that
nice.
it's not interesting. It's integral to the story. I just don't know how yet.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, they teased a little bit in the preview for next episode where, like, I guess they're maybe fighting the monks or part
Right.
of his thing. So maybe it's, something that all of the Badlands or whoever's remaining alive
Yeah.
have to, like, fight off. But I agree with you. I think it's so far different from everything else that's going on. Like,
Yeah.
it is something like we've never really seen before. So I'm having trouble like finding a way to make
mean,
it fit because they
maybe
haven't
it's-
showed out how it does.
Yeah, sorry. I feel like I'm like interrupting you guys so much.
No.
No. you're good.
Maybe it's like a Luke training with Yoda situation where he's just kind of in the background while we're paying attention to everything else?
Yeah, and he'll come back bigger. And again, we still have half a season left, so.
I mean, I don't know, but I feel bad because he was such a main point last season. Now it's just like, all right, well, I feel like we've focused on MK a lot, so let's just throw him in the mountains next to a beautiful waterfall, and then we'll focus on everybody else.
I mean, at the same time, I think there are, in like Game of Thrones, there's elements of like mysticism and stuff. And then, like, kind of like that was like pretty big for a while, and then they kind of like dipped down. I think the most interesting parts of the show are like not that. Like,
see, I'm just, now that you said that, it's very interesting because I'm curious because I think you and I are very much on the same with like that's what we like as the martial arts, and I wonder if there's people out there that love the
I'm sure there is.
the MK
Probably.
mysticism stuff, and that's what they want to see more of. And they're like, oh man, I wanted more MK, I want more MK. So I'm kind of like, maybe they are now able to temper that with give and takes or whatever. For us, it might be not as exciting, but for other viewers, they're like, that's the stuff they love.
Right, and I think it's more also the fact that they've just been like. Just like touch it, like there's nothing of substance really that we've seen.
It was like less than a minute.
It. So I mean, they had like a internal he faced a dark version of himself Face Off, but there hasn't really
and again
been
shades of Luke,
right? Shades, totally. Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's more like they've been teasing it so.
I think we'll get the payoff of it. I would hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because I mean, this episode literally we just got him in a running scene. Running.
I think maybe he has to fill a quota with how many shirtless scenes he has to do, so they can't give him too much story yet.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is the most I've ever seen of MK or of him just being with no shirt in front of a waterfall.
I think it's just that all the other storylines, even though we kind of pepper them in at different times, they're all we see sort of them going places and where they're going, and so you can kind of guess. But because this whole monk thing hasn't connected with any of those, it's hard to be it's just we're just kind of waiting for them to intersect.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's all good because that means we can get a lot of Quinn.
Oh my god.
And
poor Quinn.
Ryder came back for some scenes.
Get rid of him.
He's probably been more in the show now that he's dead than
I like him better this season than I did the first season. I just like him better this season.
Yeah.
I think it was, and not that it was bad writing or bad acting. It was just he was that character that you could not stand.
Right. Yeah.
Just the whiny son. And you're just But this, I've every time he's been on, I've enjoyed him more.
Right.
I really liked. I would have liked to seen a little more. Let him go further with going after his being the Baron.
We were talking a little bit last episode about how he's dead. It was very satisfying, but at the same time we're
he wasn't really in it.
Yeah. It's kind of come on, you're building him up, and we needed that. But
and even when he right before his kill scene, his dad Quinn was even why finally now you're sort of
right
that you're worthy He, obviously did not follow through with that, but it was cool to kind of have him back as this vision of Quinn. I mean, how this whole tumor thing. That's another thing that I really like. How that is, it's it was kind of a weird thing for a while. Okay, he's got cancer,
right?
But I really like how they've integrated the visions.
That's
that
smart.
Makes sense. That he is losing it and he's going off the rails and things are getting shakier for everybody involved. Vale is very much in the balance.
It's a great point.
Yeah, it was such a cool scene when Vale was talking to him and he was seeing Cancer Rider, Tumor Rider, or Rider Tumor, whatever you want to call it. But it was kind of an angel and devil on her shoulder. They were both whispering in his ear.
And the fact that she was wearing light colors and he was wearing all red, which makes sense because of the armadillo.
Right. And he was just in such.
I love the visuals.
Yeah,
it's great.
He's in a daze, obviously on the cusp of dying, any time now.
I'm seeing these
But-
tumors.
Yeah.
I know.
He
But like
is.
it was insane because we talked about it, how it went from like this really tiny thing and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, oh my god, look at this massive mass in
I
my
have
brain.
It's like his brain is like half gone. Like
Yeah, I was surprised that he was able to fight in the
Right.
first place or actually speak in general.
There's
Maybe that's why his accent-
there's a watermelon in my head.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
terrible.
I think that story, like, they've really pushed to the forefront, which is good because I think the veil stuff. Although it's interesting, I think we've kind of reached a
You
breaking
do.
point
You reach
with
kind of
that.
like saturation. It's like,
Right.
well,
It's
yeah,
like,
all right.
okay, how many more goons can like hit on her?
Right, right,
Like,
right.
how like. Fun fact: Edgar's gay.
Yeah, dude, how crazy was that?
That's-
Which is interesting because clearly,
Sidebar: Edgar.
like they didn't need to like make
Yeah.
it prevalent. They weren't like
Yeah.
Edgar wasn't like, girl, you want a drink? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like that with their
Girl,
legs.
like a drink.
I'm gonna make you some dinner.
Yes,
like it was
no,
just.
he's not the flamboyant.
No,
so.
and I like that we kept it that way because
Right.
you would have never known. It kind of seemed like the way that they were talking in their interaction last episode, they looked like he was kind of nervous around her.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
it was like he liked her or that he was just like, oh my god, I have to protect her. I don't know what's going on. But the fact
Totally.
that I just love the dialogue and what they chose to say.
Right.
Instead of just being like, oh yeah, he's totally just into dudes. It's just like,
Yeah.
no, you don't have the same hardware that
Right.
that he would be into. And
No,
I was like, ooh.
My oh my.
Yeah, I, like
I
that.
agree with you. I think that it's sort of shows like how far TV has come, like where they
Yeah.
like address it as sort of not a big deal, like, even within the
Right.
the
You don't have to
Badlands,
make
which
a
is, like,
thing about it.
yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm really glad it wasn't like they were making fun of him. They were just like,
Yeah.
you're pretty and all, but
Right.
definitely not.
exactly. And they didn't make it like a big deal. They didn't like rub it and like
Yeah,
they
like in
weren't
her
like
face. Yeah.
celebrating it. Like, hey, it's like this PR announcement that
Yeah.
like Edgar's actually gay.
Yeah, no, we just kind of
Newsflash.
just
We're just
went
like
past
no,
it.
like
Yeah.
nice try, but no.
Yeah, and
So yeah, that did not go as planned because
Nope.
I mean, Vale pulls tricks, but it doesn't work on everybody.
No.
as we've seen.
No, it doesn't. Her,
I mean,
her charms fail.
I feel like
Yeah.
if clearly if this was another cog, then yes, I feel like if she would have gotten away with it, it would have been fine, whatever. But of course, how much of a coinkydink does she have that she gets the person who's clearly not into women?
Right.
Just Vale's luck at this point in time, since clearly she doesn't have any. Besides, kind of today,
Right.
where she was able to get away.
Well, and there are a few smart people. Like, I mean, we've seen a lot of the cogs or whatever, be very stupid.
Yeah.
Just walking right into traps.
Yeah.
I just
That
didn't
explode in
understand
your
that.
face. But at the same time, I think this guy that totally called Vale out knew about
Yeah.
the tumor thing, and he was like keeping quiet. So there's like,
Wow.
I'm kind of curious about his character now.
Yeah.
If he's gonna have a bigger role, because he definitely knows.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
But how? How did he know? Did he just
exactly.
look through the
And
drawers
why did he
one
say
day?
anything? It was weird because he's keeping her alive to save Quinn, but he also knows that she's been lying to him. It's very.
He's playing a long game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the long con.
That
The
long,
long
con
con.
is
The
ridiculous.
long con, exactly. I'm curious about his motives, because it seems a little. I'm confused by his tactics.
I don't know. I feel like he's just trying to keep face because he actually wants to be Baron.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
because there's technically now he doesn't have an heir. Technically,
Right.
I mean, even though he really wants Henry to be his heir.
Yeah, no, he's about to swoop Henry.
Yeah,
He's like, no,
so
it's mine now.
it's weird.
my baby.
This
Love it.
baby will be
Sign some
my
adoption
clipper.
papers.
He
I mean,
will take place as Sonny, be my
yeah.
clipper.
Gross.
He pretty much, he's like, that whole Simba thing, that was me adopting him.
No, like, that was exactly what it was.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're just gonna
I'll
find him on a
baptize you in blood.
gross. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it feels like, and it didn't help that Vale kind of sealed it with a kiss in this aspect. Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
Especially because I was thinking of your blood beard. I was just like,
Ah, fucking gross.
gross. But like the fact that I feel like, even though I don't know this dude's name, it's the fact that I feel like he's definitely up to something. We just don't know what the actual end
Yeah,
result is.
yeah, I
Besides
know.
that, maybe
Yeah.
he wants to be Baron. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's no secret that Quinn is in poor health and gonna go anytime now. So I
Well, yeah,
think
yeah. He is not
they're
long
all-
for this world eventually.
Yeah, they're
Right.
all kind of like sharks are
Yeah, it's
circling.
yes, that is a very good analogy.
And I think they're also kind of like riding it out too to see because it's clear that it's gonna happen no matter what they
Right,
do.
yeah.
I think they're kind of like, okay, I don't really need to challenge him.
Right. It's like I'll
can
lose
just, like,
probably if I do challenge him, so I'm gonna bide my time.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Just hang out.
Play the long con.
Yeah,
Exactly.
clearly. And then just
We
pretend
got
like,
food, we got shelter, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
But one thing I actually do want to talk about while we're on the subject of Quinn is when
Declan, that's his name.
Declan.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool name too.
I like that. Yeah, so good.
So
Is
wonderful
when
name.
he was self-medicating with the pipe. I like for it was like how I imagine Shia LaBeouf like lives now, like just watching old like movies, like black and whites, and just like smoking like by candlelight
Shia LaBeouf
in
now.
like a movie theater by himself.
You know what's sad though? I could totally see that, and
Yeah.
being totally fine with it, just enjoying life.
I mean, hey, I'm pro. We will not like you will not divide us or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, Shia, if you're watching this,
Bro.
I feel like
That's
I
his
don't know.
thing,
It was
man?
I
No
feel like
judgment
it was,
here.
All right, buddy. Hey.
And yeah, I mean, you do you.
Hey, yeah.
Like, you
Take
know,
a toke
it's
on that
like-
peace pipe,
exactly.
man. Mellow out.
Yeah, exactly. It's
All
about to
right.
be 420 tomorrow.
Ah,
You got
yeah,
some
it
more
is.
Oh yeah, I
movies.
forgot about that.
Go
Nice.
for it.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Did we know what he was
funny.
watching though?
I don't. I mean, it was a weird like black and white.
Yeah.
films. It seemed like
It doesn't look like home movies, I don't
yeah.
think.
No,
I
no,
don't-
no.
I
At
think
first
it's,
that's what I thought it
There's
was.
my boy Ryder.
Yeah, exactly.
Put him
Right.
on the hobby
Good
horse.
old days,
Awkward.
Lydia.
Teaching him, with Lydia,
Yeah, before
my first wives.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought it was
Stroke
like a
my
Charlie,
beard. And,
like a Charlie Chaplin movie, maybe. I couldn't tell.
oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to go
but
back and watch. I'll see.
But I'm also trying
Yeah.
to figure out what the time frame is.
Correct.
We have no idea what the setting is.
I don't know how much into the future this is. Maybe
Right.
this is actually the year
Could be.
now.
It could be in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have zero idea.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that'd be great, but I was just trying to figure that out because I was like, is this like really far off? Is this actually how television is now? I don't.
Right.
That's
don't
true. We
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very. Yeah, it could be in a galaxy far,
This
far
is
away.
why I need
don't
an.
know.
Oh my god. That's all I
We
need.
need our
No one knows.
visual guides.
No one knows.
I need
yeah.
my encyclopedia, guys.
Yeah.
I need it.
Again, I feel like they could do a lot with that intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fill in some blanks. At the same time, it's kind of cool to be
Right,
guessing.
yes, and
like,
along for the
have
ride.
it unfold.
Yeah, that is very
in a certain
true.
Way. Lydia, I don't know if we
We didn't talk about
her.
Yeah.
Do we think she's okay?
I think she's okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
I just don't know what Quinn's gonna do to her. Is what I'm worried
Yeah.
about.
Probably nothing good. I mean, she did storm his castle.
Yeah.
It
Unsuccessfully.
literally blew up in her face.
Oh my god.
Poor Lydia.
And-
Poor
yeah.
Lydia.
She's just trying, guys.
So, I mean, I love the character.
Yeah,
which
she's
is
one of
too
my favorite
bad to
characters.
see.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that she kind of wasn't pissed at Jade. She was like,
I think she was just in mourning.
Yeah,
watch,
yeah.
I'm gonna be. Yeah, I guess they're all just sort of.
We're
Yeah.
in mourning right now, so I don't think she's really. But I did like the backstory that we got of the fact that she couldn't have kids after that because Ryder was, again, a giant pain, and that she couldn't have children after that.
No.
because it was just-
Classic Ryder.
Come on,
Hurrah,
Ryder! But that's just me being nitpicking. But like,
Just the curse on this family.
no, for real. And it's just, but again, I love that we got Lydia and Quinn talking about Ryder and how much like what they did and what, Ryder meant to them, even though it was he was supposed to be dead.
The abomination.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm really glad that Sunny saved that little girl. I don't know if the mom's gonna survive. See what happens there.
Yeah, she got stabbed a couple times.
No, he stabbed and twisted it. Like it was bad. I don't know how much she's gonna bleed out, but I don't think she's
Ugh.
gonna make it.
Can't walk
One,
that off.
blood everywhere.
Cannot walk that off.
Two, but yeah, I want to see how that works out, and then the fact that
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, not to hijack
No,
your
go for it, go for it,
prediction.
go for it.
I was just saying, like, it's if she does go, and
Yeah.
it sounds like her wounds are pretty bad. I don't know
Yeah.
how they
Pretty
can like
bad.
patch that up.
Uh-uh.
Sunny does not have the veil
Ah,
sewing
yeah.
skills. So I mean, if she does die, then it's like we almost have a very similar situation like we did in season 1 with. But she's a girl. Like then is like girl version
Right.
of MK.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
WK.
I don't know.
GK.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like
very-
we're at like a standstill with all of our characters right now because everything's up in the air, especially with this weird veil
Yeah, and Vale's on the run with the baby. Like she does not know how to survive.
Yeah, that's not gonna end. That's not gonna end well.
Yeah, she
hot girl
made
with
a
the baby.
Yeah,
running around the forest.
Attractive woman, an attractive woman on the run.
I think she's extremely hot, so I'm okay with that.
Well, I don't. You know, I just don't upset. Sometimes I upset people with my.
I appreciate it,
but
no,
you're saying I got the approval.
Damn
She's
fine.
beautiful. Oh my God, she's beautiful.
Yeah, no.
But with that baby, I'm saying when I meant that attractive girl on the run in that area where we've seen most of the women, it's just no. Unless you're under the control of a baron or something and you've had the luxuries, the women are not that.
Right.
They make them look unattractive. So this seeing her on the run, that's not going to end well at all.
I'm hoping that she gets to the widows. I hope she goes to the butterflies and that they help her. Because but I also don't know because she did threaten her the last time we saw her. So we'll see.
So, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. She does not have her iPhone with GPS, so she cannot.
Google
no
Maps
waysing her way back.
Help me find
Gonna be
shelter.
an issue. And obviously, I mean, if Sonny has a tough time figuring out his navigation things, then things are looking slim. But we'll have to wait to see next week.
A week.
Well,
mine's come on Sunday night, so 4 days.
A whole week.
Yeah. Still. It's gonna be we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
But until then, where can they find you guys?
You can find me at Mike Kalinowski on Twitter. Not Mikey Christmas on Twitter.
Not Mikey Christmas.
Not yet.
Working on that.
I'm working. I might create a whole fake account just for that.
Just Mikey Christmas.
If it becomes more popular than my actual account, that's going to piss me off. That's going to be upsetting, and my ego's going to be crushed.
I mean, I really hope that it does. You should.
That's terrible. You guys can find me all over the interwebs at atorres890.
Awesome. You guys can find me everywhere at Hey John Blake. Tune in next week. Same time, we will talk about episode 6.
Oh, man.
Second half of the season. Oh, God. Things are going to be great.
Hopefully my tumor will not get bigger.
Yeah.
I'll drink more blood. And Sonny, I'm coming for you, Sonny.
Oh, my God.
I love his accent. I love the way... since season 1, I've loved him. The way he talks. I love it.
Yeah. Great character.
My clipper, Sonny.
Bye, guys.
My clippers.
See you guys next week.
All right, guys. I love his accent.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Thank you.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.